What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Want to know how to make bread at home, pumpkin spice style? Let's dive in. This will be the result. All right. First, we want to make our dry ingredients. Okay. You want to use your bigger bowl for the dry ingredients. Okay. So we're going to do our 2 1/4 cup flour. I use an all purpose organic flour. Okay. Then we're going to do our 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. What's Set those aside. Then we're going to do over on our 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I use a Celtic sea salt. All right. And then I made this pumpkin spice mix from scratch from 4 ingredients. It's the organic ginger, Ceylon cinnamon, and then there is nutmeg in there and clove. We're going to pop that in there. Okay. Go ahead and set your ramekin aside. Grab a whisk. Whisk all that together. Nice and smooth. Till it just blends in. Okay. All right. We're going to set that aside. Take our towel. Now we're going to bring our small bowl. Small. We're going to set our whisk aside. We're actually going to do our wet ingredients now. So what we'll have is yogurt. I use a high probiotic yogurt for all those wonderful bacteria to help the bread be light and fluffy and moist. We're going to do 3/4 cup here. Okay, get all that in there nice. We're going to do 3 tablespoons of honey. I use an organic raw honey. Just put that in there just like that. Then we're going to do 3/4 cup of organic pumpkin puree. Just put that in there. Happy Valley time. Because we all like pumpkin. Okay. Set that aside. Here's what we're looking at so far. All right. And then we're going to do our 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Okay. Now we're going to mix this all together till it's nicely blended. Has a beautiful smell to it. Mmm. Mm-hmm. Get that olive oil nice in there. Okay. Now I'm going to put on some gloves just to save a bit of a mess here. Okay. Now, while you have your dry and your wet, go ahead and set your oven to 350. Okay. Let that heat up. Now, for this one, I use a silicone bread dish. I like silicone, it cooks thorough through all sides and makes it and keeps it moist. And I like to spray a little bit additional olive oil just inside there, even though silicone is truly, genuinely non-stick. I like to spray a little bit in there. All right. Now, you're going to mix your wet into your dry. I'm going to use a bigger spatula here. Get all that in there. Now what you want to do is just kind of comb it from the sides and just get all that in until it becomes a dough. You don't want to over mix this dough to keep the bread nice and airy and fluffy and moist, but there will be a time, just keep mixing in circles. You'll see this starts to form into a beautiful dough. Push down with the back, just side it, just have a little patience. It'll look like a mess before it looks beautiful. So don't let that panic you. Once kind of all that flour and that dry ingredients is kind of caked in there with the wet, I'm going to go ahead and kind of start using my hands to fold. Just take the back end and push. Back end, fold, push. Okay? Then you can start getting it in there. Find a wet spot in there, flip it, and push down to get all that stuff, all that beauty. Okay, it's going to feel pretty dry for a moment, but the more you fold and push, you'll start to see that it picks up all the residue. Okay, you want to keep it just a little bit moist. Like I said, you don't want to over mix this. That's what helps that airiness of the bread that you saw at the beginning of the photo, the video. And then I kind of take it out and I start to mold it into that ball. You don't want any holes. Okay. And then what I do, I found a little trick. I roll it on the side. And then I'll flip it this way. Roll it on the sides. Okay. You're going to end up with a nice, should be semi-sticky, but not too wet. Nice and fluffy there. All right. Set your bowl aside. Grab your pan. Now I'm going to rub all that olive oil just nice around there. You're going to take it. You're going to plop it. Pat it a little bit down. Push from the side. Pat. Push. Pat. Push. You want it to be flat in there, but about 3/4 of this filled up with that dough. Okay? Then pat. All right? See that? So then we're going to pat a little lower. Now, what I like to do is take my paring knife, and I'm going to make a little design so when it bakes. So I take right down the middle, just like that, and then I do the sides. Do about 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's put one here too. Now, I'm going to move it back over a little bit. Squeeze it a little bit, pat it a little more, make sure it's all in there evenly. Okay, that's what that should look like. Leaving some room on those sides, all corners, so it has room to grow. And then you're going to pop this in the oven for 45 minutes. So we're going to set our timer to 45. And that's it, guys. In 45 minutes, you will have your beautiful pumpkin spice yogurt bread. Processes through the tummy perfectly. Nice and moist. Smells delicious. Now, to check your bread to make sure it's done, depending on what state you're in,